Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sabira Seth Wali and I am a level 1 student at Johan School, Islamabad, Barako campus. Today, with special guest name is Tara Brown. So, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Doing well. How are you today?
I am also great. So, thank you to come to my show, The Talk Room. Welcome to show. So, please introduce yourself for my audience.
My name is Tara Brown-Coleman, and I am an educator of 27 years. I have been in both private and public school systems, but I started out in civilian world with government as well as contract work with adults in both logistics and teaching technical work. And I found that the skills that I did there translated over into education. And now I work with 12th grade students and I'm preparing them for the real world. So it's not just preparing them to read and write, it's preparing them to go out into the world and to conquer the world with everything that they have, with all the skills that reading and writing gives them. It's not just to put it down on paper, it's to speak, it's to put things into technological advances today, and it's also to write. So yes, I'm doing pretty much it all.
Okay, nice introduction, Tara. Amazing. So my next question is this: what first inspired you to a career center on helping people grow and success?
It inspired me to do what I do because my mother was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, and my great grandmother was a teacher. So I'm a fourth generation teacher. And I saw through them that they helped students aspire to do something more than what they could do on their own. And my mother especially helped me because I was a child who was very, very sick as a young child. And as you can hear, I have a speech impediment. And that kept me very, very quiet as a young child. Was not shy, but I didn't want to talk because I always thought that people would make fun of me. But my mother was very adamant that I could do everything. So she was very motivational in that way. And I saw that she carried that over to her students all the time. My grandmother and great grandmother did the same. So when I went into the workforce, I also carried that same motivation over to first the adults and now into the students, giving them that same inspiration, especially those who feel like they want to just quit. And they're so close, especially because I teach 12th graders. They're close to getting out, but sometimes they're frustrated. And I want to give them that motivation to go forth. They can do it. They have someone in their corner. And that motivation that pushed me, I also want to give to my students and give to just anyone. It doesn't have to be a student, it can be anyone who feels like, I don't know if I can. And I'm here to tell you that you can.
Okay, that's great, amazing, Tara. So my next question is this: how did your early government and work shape your approach to leadership?
My approach to leadership is that it's not about knowing everything, it's about finding a way to get what you need. You don't have to have all the knowledge at once, but you do have to have the skills to get to the knowledge that you need. And as a leader, you have to be able to teach those who are with you. It's not about being ahead of them, it's about being with them, but showing them the way. A leader leads by showing them how to do something and being with them to do it with them. So, with my style of leadership, it's showing you and it's showing you different ways. It's not about just my way. It's showing you that the way that you do it is also a successful way of doing it if you can get to the same goal as what our team or what your goal individually or corporately may be.
Okay, that's great, Sarah Brown. So my next question is this: what lesson from how did working in public teach your communication complex idea?
How did working in public condense my idea? Could you repeat that one more time, please, ma'am?
Okay, my question is this: how did working in public teach your communication complex idea?
Yes, working in public taught me how to communicate better is because you have to communicate with different people. You have to communicate in different ways. And getting across my ideas, you have to learn how to approach the person that you're in front of and figure out what's the best way to teach that person or to talk with that person. The way that you talk to one person may not be the way that the next person is going to receive the information that you have to tell them or to share with them, or even if you're in a teaching role, to teach them. So working with the public teaches me a way to have to communicate in different ways. So I use a lot of different tools. Sometimes it's kinetic, sometimes it's visual, sometimes it's audio, sometimes it's all three. There's more than three ways of communicating, but whatever it takes to get your message across to that person effectively, working with the public helps me to do that in more effective ways because you just deal with so many different people. Working with the government, especially, you're dealing with a variety of people on many different levels. You're dealing with customers, you're dealing with bosses, you're dealing with salespeople, you're dealing with all different types of stakeholders. Then, when you're dealing with education, you're dealing with students, you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with teachers, you're dealing with administrators, you're dealing with central office, and then you're dealing with the community. So, again, you're dealing with different types of stakeholders, those who have different levels of what they want out of what you need to give them. So you have to give your information in the way that's going to be valuable.
Okay, that's amazing. So my next question is this: what motivates you from government work into education?
Government work was valuable to me because it gave me that broad expanse of knowledge and experience and just touching lives across the world. Because I worked with the Marine Corps base, I worked at Quantico. So I worked with Marcor Syscom, and that was the acquisitions arm of the Marine Corps. So I was able to communicate all over the world, and that was very interesting to me. Also, I worked with OPIC, which is the Overseas Private Investment Corporation. That also, which is now defunct, it's now gone into a different format in the government. But that was the investment arm of the government. So again, working with these different corporations that expanded worldwide. So I was able to take those experiences and translate them over into education because you had to learn how to teach different people different things about what you did. And for me, I was more of the writer in my group. I was always either the tech writer. I was the one who had to explain everything. So the SOP, the standard operation procedures, I was explaining how to do things. If it was a technological aspect of what was happening in the office, if there was a new technological equipment, if there was a new software, if there was a new anything, I was the one who had to explain it. If there was a new something simple, maybe even like a telephone, you would think that would be simple enough to use, but no. So I would have to figure out a way to explain those things. Using that kind of knowledge translated easily over into education because you're constantly teaching how to do something that may not seem interesting at first, but you have to make it interesting because those skills are what's going to carry over beyond the lesson, which is a story or the play or the poem in my line because I teach English, but you're teaching a skill that's going to be necessary later. In government work, you're teaching a technological skill, or you're teaching how to operate a certain piece of equipment, but that same skill can translate over to something else that can be used later. So using that same kind of skill teaching adults was easily translated over to teaching children. So I was able to do that, and I found it satisfying to teach children later.
Okay, amazing. That is Tara Brown. So I move to my next question. My next question is this: how did your longest experience prepare you for school leadership?
The experience that I have started out with school, I started out teaching with my mother. And after I went to school with her each summer, I started working with her in school. And then I went on to college and I got my bachelor's in English and mass communication. I had a master's degree in English education. And then I got another master's degree. I got an MBA. And then I continued to get more and more degrees. And after I got all of these degrees, I decided that after I got the degrees, I needed to go on into the workforce. I also got married and had children, and all of these degrees helped me with the students that I had first in my home because I started teaching my children at home, and then into the workforce because every time I went to work, I ended up tutoring some of the students of my colleagues. So the work that I always did at my job always led back to teaching. No matter what I was doing, it always led back to education. So that was a use of my degrees, even though I wasn't always using it in the workforce. It was something that I was constantly honing. And then when I transferred over into education, that is something that I've now been doing for the last 27 years.
Okay, that's amazing, Sarah. So I move my next question. My next question is: how do you define purposeful action?
One more time, please. Could you say that one more time, please? I could not hear you.
My Okay, my next question is: what are systems so important in both organization and personal growth?
Ah, the systems that are important in personal growth are persistence, resilience, consistency, and having a set of standards that you can use no matter where you go. If you are consistent in your habits and develop good habits, and these habits are not going to come overnight, but these are habits that you develop because you have people who are around you that you find parts of them that you like, parts of them that you can find, I like what they do. Take some of those and start developing from there. Things that you do now that are good. Hang around good people. Do good things. Speak good words. Those are character parts of you that you can develop. When you have standards that you develop now, no matter what happens to you later on in life, those are those standards that make the foundation for what you build upon. The consistency means that you do it every day. So you practice. The skills that you want to build, you practice every single day. When it comes to skills that you have to learn from someone else, you practice them. When it comes to those habits that you want to build for yourself, you practice them. You practice getting up and being on time. You have to practice. If you don't, you're not going to be on time. Uh, Being responsible. You practice being responsible just by doing it more often. Being a leader, sometimes you have to step up even when you're not comfortable being a leader. But the more you do it, the better off that you are, the better you become being a leader. So those things that I've developed now, it came as I went along. Am I perfect now? No. But I always say you are a lifelong learner. Once you stop learning, it's time for you to go because life should be about learning all the time. So that's how I continue to grow in my personal life.
Okay, that's good. So my next question is this. Please tell me that what do you identify when a progress needs to become efficient?
When when I want to pick a position, when someone is trying to pick a position, is that what you're trying to say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. When someone is when someone is picking a position, when I'm picking someone for a position in my job, is that what you're saying? Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Perfect. Yes.
yes,
When someone is being picked for a position, when I'm choosing someone for my job, I usually look at first what they have on their resume because obviously that's their first introduction to you. But then when I bring them in, I listen to what they say because after the resume, after the introduction, you have to talk to them because if they don't gel with your company, if they don't gel with you, if they don't gel with what you have in your philosophy of your company, it doesn't matter what's on their resume because paper is just paper. I've seen many people who've had beautiful resumes that did not work well with my company. So I always look at that first because the skills need to be there. But you can always train someone. If they don't have what I call fundamentals of personality, fundamentals of their work habits, fundamentals of what I look for in a worker, then that is not going to work for me. So those kind of habits that I listed before, responsibility, are you a leader? Are you someone not always have to be a team player, but someone who can speak up and say, this is where we need to go, and here's why. Someone who knows how to find answers. So don't come with problems all the time. It's okay to have a problem, but also say, here's a solution. So these are some of the things that I look for in people who are coming to work with me, not just the skills that are on a resume. Because a resume, you can work on skills. You can't always work on the personality. That comes with it.
okay, that's great, Tara. So my next question is this. Please tell me that how do you help teams adopt a new system without distance?
How do you adopt a new system without distance? You adopt a new system without
Yes.
distance You adopt a new system without distance by making sure that you communicate. Communication is key now, especially now, because there's so much going on with, I want to say AI, but it's more just social media with AI, with technology. So having that communication skill face to face, having that important being able to talk to someone, express how you feel, express your idea in a succinct way so that someone understands. That's important. Having distance is today's world. So everything is quick and easy. You can shoot an email across the world. But being able to sit in front of someone face to face and carry on a conversation is the hardest thing to do for some people. And that is an important skill that we still need to have. And it's a valuable, valuable lesson that I think is sometimes lost. And that's something that you need to be able to sit in front of someone and say, here's my idea, and this is why it's going to work, and not rely on shooting it across the stratosphere and have it go across. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Unmuting my mic. Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
Well, okay, say it
So,
one more time.
my question. Okay. Okay. My question is this: how do you balance structure with creativity?
How do I balance my creativity with? Oh, how do I balance my creativity? Yes, I balance my creativity by, I have so many different things that I like doing. I just try to make sure that I give time to each one of the things. I write, I do graphics, I do music, I also teach. All of these things take time. But if you just hodgepodge and do a little bit and keep jumping back and forth, you never really complete anything. So I put myself on a schedule and I do an hour and I dedicate that hour to that one thing. And then I stop and be satisfied with what I've accomplished in that hour for that thing. And I'm happy. And then if I want to approach something else, I will do that. But I always dedicate a period of time. If I don't, then I find myself scattered a lot. So having schedules, having things written out for me keeps me balanced with the things that I like to do, being creative, because if you have a lot of ideas, which is good, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of ideas, it's putting them in an organized manner so that they don't get scattered, so they don't get lost, so they don't get forgotten. You can always go back to them and say, oh, yeah, this was a great idea. Let me dedicate some time to this. So just having that schedule, having that dedicated time to each one of your ideas, give them the honored time that they deserve, and allows you to approach each one of your talents and your gifts appropriately.
Okay, that's good. Wonderful. Shara, so my next question is: what role does technology play in effective organization design?
Technology has now become a blessing because before everything had to be written down on paper, sticky notes, notebooks, and hopefully you didn't lose anything. Technology now has made things very, very, very much more concise. You can put things in files, you can put things on voice, you can put things on a computer, on an iPad, on your phone. Many people operate entire businesses from their phone. Amazing. So it becomes a valuable tool for you to keep organized, to keep yourself abreast of everything that's going on in the world. Things are at your fingertips, where before it was in catalogs and encyclopedias. And not that the library is a place that you should not frequent. You should definitely go to the library as much as possible, but you now have the library that you can have online. So you can definitely still access all of these things, but you can do it so much more quickly. It allows you to be more productive. It allows you to be creative in a way that you had to do more with more time. You can now do it quickly now and do more with it. So I think technology, when used ethically, smartly, is an advantage. So this is a great time. The time of the time that we're in now, the technology time we're in now, is a good thing. It's a good thing. We have to be careful, and I'm good. I'm glad we're doing that.
Okay, that's great, Tara Brown. So my last question is this. My last question is, what do you simplify complex information for deserved audience?
The last information I would like to leave for the audience is that you are always going to be as great as you think you are. You are going to be as much as you expect yourself to be. So always give yourself great expectations. The world today is so advanced, has so many opportunities for you. Don't let them pass you by. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do it, because you can. If you don't believe it, find someone who can be in your corner, who can cheer you on until you do believe it. But always believe that you can, because there's nothing in this world that you can't do. There's something there that can help you if you can't do it by yourself. There's always something, someone, somewhere that's available for you. You can do it. Believe in yourself. It's available.
Thank you, Tara Brown, so coming in my show, the talk room, and give me very, very precious times. So thank you so much again. And so this was our interview. I hope you like it. We will meet the next guest same time. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad, Rehan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz, take care, Tara Brown.